What's going on, everybody? So, hey, this weekend we got some crazy video game news to talk about. Pretty sure Summer Games Fest just killed E3. Let's get into it. Before we jump into that, though, we have a couple little tiny announcements. Two things I really wanted to talk about with this week. First one being Crysis. Now, Crysis was supposed to have a huge event on Thursday, talking about their game, talking about everything, the big re-release. It's coming out for Switch. It's going to be on all the modern consoles. But the trailer actually leaked a day in advance, and when people saw the trailer, they were going through and really kind of bashing it. They were saying that in some cases it looked worse than the original Crysis, which is kind of crazy because Crysis was always like, you know, the footprint for, is your PC strong enough? Like, oh, it's a great PC, but can it run Crysis? It's kind of, you know, the benchmark, you would say, for PCs back in the day. So to see a Crysis that looked like it was a bit neutered disappointed some people. Of course, you know, that was like a leaked upload, so who knows, it could have been like a lower quality video or who knows. But something weird happened. Basically, we got a message from the people who make Crysis, and they straight up said, hey, we're going to delay this event, we're going to delay everything, and we're going to make this game a little bit better. So, for you Crysis fans, it looks like the old Shigeru Miyamoto mantra of a bad game is bad forever, a delayed game is only delayed once, is speaking true with this, so be looking forward to that. The last thing I want to talk about before the big thing is, you know, if you've been watching my channel for a while, I've actually talked about how scalpers during these pandemic times have been ruining trying to get the Switch. They're all buying them up with bots, selling them at $400 and $500, and people are paying it. Right now, though, there's an awesome option, just came back up. Nintendo's website themselves, you can just Google refurbished Nintendo. They're selling the refurbished Switches, again, which means that they're going through, fixing everything, making sure everything's good, putting a warranty on it, and they're selling them for $260. That's right, you're getting $40 off MSRP. You're getting a quality product with the warranty intact. They have other things on there too. Don't just think about the Switch. They actually have refurbished docks for like $40. If you've been looking for the Super Nintendo Classic, which some places have been jacking the price up on those, I think that's going for like $70 or $80. It's a great deal. You need to check out the website, especially if you've been one of the ones trying to get a Switch and you just can't, and you don't mind one that's refurbished by Nintendo. It is an excellent deal at $260. You know, like I said, I've seen sold listings on eBay for $400 plus, and it's finally time. Maybe we stick it back to these stupid scalpers. But now the big part of the news for the week, man. So if you know anything about video game stuff, you know that E3 is the largest gaming event of the year. They have all the big announcements on the showroom floor. They have demos. They have cool promos you can get, and it's an amazing time. From what I hear, I've never actually been, but I have heard the same complaint from people who have gone, and that is, basically everyone wants to play the demos, everyone wants the promos, and the lines are crazy, and you have to schedule a lot of stuff, and you could spend a lot of money on a ticket down there. You don't get to go to any of the big showcases, and maybe you get to play 2 or 3 demos, huge crowds, long lines. And you know, a lot of people have questioned, you know, in this modern day of game streaming and being able to play remotely, how come we aren't able to play these game reveals in the comfort of our home? I mean, just think about Nintendo Direct, where they announce Link's Awakening Remake, and then you can play that demo on your Switch, or, you know, PlayStation, they have a little thing for Final Fantasy VII Remake, and you can play that on your PlayStation 4. I mean, that would have been amazing, right? Well, Microsoft has partnered with the Summer Games Fest, and they are doing just that, and I think it's going to disrupt E3, possibly forever. At a minimum, it'll change E3 if E3 continues next year. Now, first we need to talk about, I've been talking about on the channel, of course, that in July there's supposed to be an Xbox Direct where they're going to show all kinds of games with their first-party games and all sorts of stuff. Now, we don't know when in July that is. I think, however, we can now pinpoint it because the week of July 21st, they're actually doing a big demo thing with Summer Games Fest. I don't know what you want to call it, a demo direct. It's basically a week full of demos that they're dropping for everyone to play, which is exactly what we've all been talking about. So before we get into that though, that to me says that the Xbox event has to probably happen before that, right? Or, you know, maybe in conjunction. But so I'm thinking third week of July, we're gonna get this Xbox Direct. We're gonna see Halo Infinite. We're maybe gonna see a new Fable. I don't know. They'll probably bring back that Battletoads they were talking about for quite a while ago. But that's not the big deal. The big deal is they're saying they're gonna have concurrent demos starting July 21st, Summer Games Fest. Jeff Keighley talked about it. So there's gonna be demos, and it's not just like 1, 2, 3 demos. They said over 60. In fact, the article itself says when the dust settles, it might be more like 75 to 100. And it's going to be demos for games. Some of them are even pre-alpha. So obviously you're going to have to, if you play these demos, you need to take them all with a grain of salt. But they're talking, basically you're going to be able to play from your home all sorts of games. They have not announced too many yet. And they're going to keep announcing throughout the month. However, one game out of the initial 5 that kind of stuck out to me is a Skatebird. I don't have a PC worth gaming on, but I have heard about Skatebird. It's like you're basically a parakeet on a skateboard. It's like, think about like Tony Hawk Pro Parakeet, because that's what this game is. But scratching all that, this is a huge deal. I mean, as I've said, a lot of people have been saying, you know, people who can't afford flying out to E3, who can't buy the ticket, who maybe can't afford the time off to stand in line for 5 hours to play 10 minutes of Link's Awakening. You know, I think this is going to change the landscape. Now, there's been a lot of talk about E3 possibly being shut down after this whole pandemic thing has essentially killed it this year, but also you have companies like Sony bowing out. Nintendo does a direct now. They don't even really show up anymore. I mean, they have demos and stuff, but they don't go through and have a big, presence with the stage and all that. They have a digital direct. Microsoft is kind of the last bastion, so to speak. So now that Microsoft is leading this heralding call, next year it makes me think that if there is an E3, which there may be, if there is an E3, they're going to have to do the same thing. Next year, they're going to have to basically have a big announcement, have the big EA showcase, for instance, and then after the EA showcase, after a cool game, the new Star Wars, launches. Hey, we're announcing Star Wars. It'll be out in December. Oh, and there's a demo on your PlayStation right now. Or, during a Direct. Well, Direct already seems to do that, don't they? Like, hey, we have the new Yoshi games coming out. And by the way, there's a demo out right now. You can pre-order it. It's going to come out in a month. I think that's going to be the case, which I think E3 is going to have to do it because this is going to set a precedent that people are going to want. However, I think it will also hurt E3. Now, E3 obviously wants bodies in the building. They want ticket sales. And, if you're a casual person who plans on going to E3 purely to play these games and try to experience that, but maybe the crowds don't excite you, maybe you would like to do this from the comfort of your own home, obviously, this is your solution. So, what do you guys think about this? I'm personally pumped, and throughout this whole month, I'm definitely going to keep y'all updated on the demos that are coming out. Right now, it's kind of just a bunch of indie games that were announced, like 5 games. So 5 out of the potentially 100, who knows? But, we'll see what's going on. Soon we're going to have the event. I'm thinking it's going to be the 20th or the 21st, start of this whole thing, and we're going to have demos. And depending on, first off, comments, when these demos start getting announced, I want you guys to comment what demos you want me to make videos on, because I'm definitely going to be playing a lot of them. And of course, if there's anything that really stands out to me, I'll just make a video on it anyway. But, what do you guys think? Do you guys think that this is like the big game changer? E3 is going to have to change, or possibly Summer Games Fest might take over the E3 slot for next year? Let me know what you think. I'm really, really interested to know what you guys are thinking about this situation. So, hey, last week I asked you guys if you guys would want me to do some form of like a Let's Play or a live stream thing, and I actually got some pretty good responses, but I have a follow-up question. Sorry, I don't mean to bug you guys. 2 things. One, for this, I'm gonna do like a trial first. I'm gonna try one game. Would you rather me do a longer game that'll be like mini episodes, or would you like me to do a shorter game just to kind of test the waters? Because I kind of got a couple of ideas from viewers, from you guys. So I kind of want to know below. Just say short game, long game, and I leave it at that. And the other thing is, would you rather have just gameplay with me talking, voicing over it, and just generally chatting, or gameplay with like how I do when I do reviews, where I have like a little bit of me in the corner, a little camera FaceTime, just to know what you guys want, because I'm here for y'all. So please let me know in the comments below. That's my question of the day today. So please just let me know. And that's going to do it for us today, guys. Like I said, do you guys think that this is going to kill E3? I think it has a good chance to kill it, or at least change it permanently. If you like the video, please throw a thumbs up or thumbs down. Subscribe if you haven't. We are coming dangerously close to 3,000 subscribers. I can't believe that. That's freaking awesome. But hey, as always, take it easy.